we have a legacy over here on Jefferson Street. And I don't want to see that legacy being totally forgotten. During the Jim Crow era, we couldn't go downtown and shop. We built this street up to be our Black Wall Street. At one time, we had 3 banks on this street. We had clothing stores, we had shoe shops, barber shops, restaurants, flower shops, insurance offices, everything that you would need to survive in a community we had here on Jefferson Street. This is the only city with 3 HBCUs on the same street, and that was Jefferson Street. So Jefferson Street was powerful because it was a thriving Black community that got displaced. This street alone had over 600 homes and businesses. And then if you look at the blocks around Jefferson Street, it's 1,000 or more folk over here, and a lot of them got displaced. And that was because of the Interstate 40 coming through here, straight through the community. And when the interstate came through the community, then the businesses start closing down, the residents started moving out, and you had the marches. You had different things happening around the colleges. And I do think, by them coming straight through Jefferson Street with this interstate, it disrupted the flow of the marches, of the sit-ins. They had made a decision that it would be best to cut off all of that marching and rioting and disruptions that was taking place by bringing the interstate straight through the city.
It's embedded maliciousness. In North Nashville, the Trail of Tears came through. America committed genocide against a whole nations of people who were here, and then kidnapped African Americans and brought them here. Hatley Park was the Hatley Plantation.
There was nothing you could do about it. You couldn't protest and say that you didn't have to move. You had to move because the city had made a decision to enhance the quality of living for the city, not necessarily for this community.
We've been noticing that more lately as the rest of Nashville develops. There's a greater and greater urgency for groups to find culture in the city to differentiate it from anywhere else in the country. Some of the apartment developments you see, they could be anywhere. There's nothing unique about them to Nashville.
In the last couple of years, there has been some pretty major projects coming up here on Jefferson Street, which is changing the face of the street.
What was $15,000 lot over here is now a couple $100,000. The level of investment has gone up so much. It's pretty shocking. But the knock-on effects of that are that the rents are going to go up. Our general customer base is less and less localized to North Nashville. More and more of our customers live farther and farther out as a result of gentrification. So the ability to find an affordable rent near North Nashville has greatly decreased.
I've been back for 33 years. But we have affordable housing. If we do not provide housing for our own people, then after a while they won't be able to afford to live here.
They're putting all of these condos down the street here now, and mostly Caucasians can afford to move in those apartments because of the cost of the apartments, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 right over here on Jefferson Street. And this was one of the lower income areas in the city.
It's encroaching in this area. I mean, coming down 28th, you see the tall and skinnies. Coming down Jefferson Street, you see the tall and skinnies. My father's rotisserie in his grave to think about half of Jefferson Street is really already taken.
It is affecting the residents to the point that they're selling out because they can't afford to pay the taxes.
I was running for office and I was saying, like, guys, let's be slow to raise property taxes, because if you raise property taxes, then it's going to affect everything we do. It's going to raise the food costs. It's going to raise your rent. And have people say, like, well, if they raise property taxes, our rent is not going to make me any difference. But it will, and it helped to actually push more poorer people out of the city.
The one challenge a lot of people who've been selling in the neighborhood find is that they'll sell the house for a nice price.
Can I afford to pay these taxes, or should I just go on and sell and make a profit?
But now they got to find somewhere new to live. Now they have to buy another house with that money, and it's everywhere else is gone up. You're not going to find another place in the neighborhood for the same price or less than what you just sold their place for.
What has happened with gentrification in this area, it's devastating. It can make a brass monkey cry. However, if we don't come together as a people and begin to do for ourselves what nobody else is going to do, this stuff will continue. It will get worse.